Hey, I wanted to share a project with you all. This is a art journal that I made recently. I started it. This is definitely not anywhere near finished. I've only done the cover so far, and the cover's not even done yet. I still have stuff that I want to add to it. I'm just not totally sure the direction I want to go with the cover yet. But anyway, this is it, and it's an altered book. And basically what I've done with this is the bottom here is my name. I had the author's name, but I just took rub-ons and I put my first and last name. I'm covering up my last name. And then the title of the actual book is My Little Corner of the World, and I just thought that was so me. My friend came over from out of town recently, and she desperately wanted to start an art journal or an altered book project, and I've thought about it in the past. I actually have a book that I'm going to share with you all about art journals, and I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, but I never really made it a priority because I was doing so much other scrapbooking stuff. So I'm so thankful that she came and wanted to sit and just create. We just sat side by side at my scrapbooking table over here, and we were a little crowded, but it was fun. It was so much fun, and it was perfect. It was just wonderful, and I know that this is going to really help me also. I'll talk a little bit more about that after I share more of this, or like after I talk about what's on here. But I just know that this is something that I'm supposed to be doing right now for my own reasons. So yeah, I took an olive green ribbon and I put Stays On stamp, or I used a stamp with Stays On ink, and I accidentally covered some of the words up, the first letters of the words, so I just wrote them onto the ribbon with a Sharpie. And then I embellished the ends of some of the letters. This was all very basic font, all of this lettering, so I wanted to sort of embellish it. I did some faux stitching over here. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I did some little doodle dots and you know, made a swirl in the eye and the T's and stuff like that. And then up here I used a Prima flower in that knot, and I tied this in a knot, and then I used a Prima flower on top of it, and then a pink leaf button. And this is all very symbolic for me, the colors and everything. The A, that's a K and Company chipboard letter, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's metallic. It's got metallic embellishment on it. And then I took brown rickrack and just tied it onto the bow. And then I put some little photo corners. Those are K and Company as well. And then also I distressed the edges with an emery board and used green distress ink, Tim Holtz distress ink. And of course the button in the middle of world. But this is very significant as far as where I'm at right now. I'm a very introspective person, and so a lot of times I tend to be revived and renewed by going away by myself, and usually I like to sit by the water somewhere, or I'll just go and sit in my car out by the water, or go to a park or something like that and just sit and be by myself and just think. A lot of times I'll write. Journaling has been literally as long as I can remember. I think whenever I was maybe 8 years old, I started keeping a diary, and I've got journals ever since that I've kept over the years. And so, you know, journaling is very, very healing to me, just writing. And so the art journaling thing is, it's almost like an extension of that, the way that I release my emotions through writing in my journals. Sometimes I draw in my journals too, like if I'm thinking about something and I'm writing about something that I'm going through and I have a certain emotion, sometimes I'll draw a picture of something that I see in my head. I call them visions, and I'll just, you know, draw it out or whatever. But, you know, so I guess I've kind of done art journaling. Art journaling is not something that has to be cut and dry. It's meant to be, I guess, sort of imperfect. It's meant to be just fun. It's meant to, you know, I think for me, what I hope to get out of this is healing. And that brings me to the other thing that I wanted to share with you all. With everything that I'm going through right now, emotionally, coming out of a time of depression, and not just postpartum depression, but also coming out of, I think, a long time of off and on depression that I never really took the chance to recognize. Coming out of that is something that I want to journal about. And while I'm kind of still in this place where, you know, like the medication hasn't completely kicked in yet, you know, I'm still kind of having some of those feelings that go along with depression. And so I want to document that. I want to write it down and, you know, express those things so that I can look back and remember what I was going through. And, you know, I can see the progress later on when I look back at it. And also, just to be able to have a release. What I was talking about in regards to journaling earlier was that if I'm going through something or if I'm feeling something, whether it's a strong emotion, most of the time I feel very strong emotions. That's just me. But if I'm feeling something, writing it down is a release for me. There are certain things that I've always done that are a release of emotions for me. And most of the time, once I have written it down, whether it's writing it down in my journal or writing a song about it, a lot of times is something that is the way that I release it as well. But once I've got that down on paper, it's like it's been lifted off my shoulders. And I consider my journaling to be prayer journaling because most of the time I'm talking to God whenever I'm journaling about something, you know. So I guess that kind of helps me be a little bit more conversational about it, like I'm talking to Him, or like it's like I'm talking to a friend. If you were to read it, if you were to read any of my journals, and you know, God, I consider God to be my best friend. So, you know, yeah, I'm talking to my best friend when I'm journaling. So yeah, I mean, that's the reason why it feels like a release whenever I've got that down, because, you know, I've prayed about it by journaling, writing down those prayers. But I call it journaling. So anyway, before this video runs out, Art Journals and Creative Healing, and it's Restoring the Spirit Through Self-Expression by Sharon Sonef. And I'm going to make another video about this book because this is a really, really awesome tool for inspiration for me. I bought this book like 2 years ago, and I just got it out 2 nights ago whenever my friend came over and wanted to do altered books and art journals. So I'm really excited about this project because I think that it's going to help me reflect on a lot of things that I've been through and a lot of things that I'm going through right now. So I'm going to stop this video and then I'll make another one talking more about this book.